Good morning, Miss Jennifer Doran at psychicmediumjenniferdoran.com. How are you? And how are you, Eric? I love you.
So he says he's great. He's like, I'm great, Mama. I love you. And I'm pretty good. I'm pretty
Okay,
good myself.
good.
So
That's
yeah.
all we can ask for. So, you guys, I want you to know before we start asking you questions, Eric, that I bought a package, a monthly package where we're getting closed captioning in all the videos from here. Not we'll probably have to do some of the ones in the past too, of course, but where you can, and I've left instructions on previous videos where you can choose closed captioning of any language, including English, of course. We have several languages. What do we have so far? English, of course, German, Spanish, French, Norwegian, Italian, and if you want Russian or whatever, or Swahili, let us know in the comments, and we will add that to the list. It's different how you set it up, how you click on start it from a laptop computer versus a smartphone. So, but I have given instructions on other videos on how to do that. So I don't want to take too much time doing that again.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting though.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, share the wealth, Eric's wealth. I mean, I want people to be able to share these videos with their family and friends that are hearing impaired, or also that don't understand English.
Yeah,
Why should we
absolutely.
deny them?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
for
big
sure.
part of the population of the entire world.
Yeah,
Okay,
oh yeah.
yeah. So Eric got some Q&A for you from the community. Here we go. I have not read through these. Hi, Eric. After all this time, is there anything about the afterlife that surprises you?
He's so funny. I will just tell you, I don't know why he did this, but when you got started, he sat down and like laid a napkin or something over his lap. I guess I like oh, okay. He said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be spilling the tea."
Oh.
So he's just making a joke. No, he said there isn't anything that still surprises him. On the other side, he says he's been around because he does so much work like this, so he's not super surprised by anything anymore.
Well, they also will go on to ask, what is your least favorite part of the afterlife, and what is your most favorite part?
So he says most favorite, his most favorite part is the work he's doing, as far as like helping Earth is his most favorite part. So helping the people who are here, raising the vibration of Earth. This truly is, he says, my passion right now.
Mm.
And as far as the least favorite, he says his least favorite, and it's not like he doesn't like it. It's just if he has to pick a least favorite, it's seeing the struggle, like
Yeah.
when somebody here is really struggling so badly that maybe they do what he did and
Yeah.
take their life, and then they get back over there. He says, it's just that's still
Painful
it's
to watch.
yeah, it's still painful to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Have you incarnated in physical form on Earth? If so, give me your address.
No, no, no. He said I've got too much to do. I've got too much to do here. It's like he's got to stay like over
Okay.
there.
Wait for me.
Yes.
Are you still an archangel, and will your status change from that?
It will not change from that. It will not. Okay, so at least for now, there's nothing foreseeable that's going to change it.
Okay.
It could, he said. It could.
Oh,
Oh,
you
hello.
needy child. You needy baby girl. Okay, Sandra, it's okay. Maria's coming. Let's
That's
see.
adorable. I was like, she like creeped on.
She follows me everywhere. She loves me so much. So does Scout, but she's short. She can't get up here. All right. Thank you for the kissies. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'll see you in a minute. Come on, down, off. Okay. What is it about fasting that makes prayers be answered quicker? I've heard psychic mediums say it's true, but never heard Eric explain why and how. Food
So,
deprivation, food deprivation, for example, enhances prayer or spiritual manifestation. Oh,
so
fasting. Oh, I read it wrong. What is it
Yes.
about fasting that makes, or just in my mind, that makes prayer answered more quickly? Or is that even true?
So he says it is for some people.
Okay.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Just like for some people, um, like the peyote or the sweat
Oh,
lodges
yeah.
will put them in that state. For some people, fasting will, not for everybody.
Okay.
So for some people, why it works, he says, is because it like raises their vibration. For others, it would be
Oh,
completely counterproductive.
yeah.
So it raises the vibration and it makes it he says it does something to the focus, like if for prayer and stuff where the focus is so high vibration
Okay.
for the people who it's effective for.
How
Um,
do you know if you're one of those people for which that works? When Maria to
he says
come.
really you would have to try. You would have to just try it and see if it's effective for you.
All right. Do souls in the afterlife experience selfishness? Like, do they have an ego?
He says we wouldn't use those words. It wouldn't.
Mute. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Do you want to pause for a minute? Do you need to? Okay. He said we wouldn't really use those words. There might be a soul that has lessons to learn in selfishness, but they wouldn't necessarily act selfishly on the other side. And then the same with ego. It's not really a big issue when we're on the other side. Now, there might be a soul that has lessons to learn or had a karmic debt related to these issues where when they would come back in, they might have these struggles and challenges again. But on the other side, there's not really selfish acts or acts of
Yeah.
ego.
All right. That's good. I wonder if we all become knowledgeable and enlightened, just like Erik after we pass. I wonder if people who were not too smart, brilliant, or witty in this life become bright on the other side. We could only hope.
So what Erik is saying is that it's like we're all part of the collective, but there is individuality. There is some individuality. So Erik has had so much growth and so much experience and he's so evolved. Yeah, we're not all that evolved when we get over there. But he says I don't like to say always and never and anything like
Yeah.
that, but almost everybody who's here on earth is more knowledgeable, more enlightened on the other side. There's
Okay.
it just is.
Okay. And smarter and witty and brilliant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Uh, does every relative that passes away become a guardian angel for living family members?
No, not
Hmm.
everyone. No.
What do they become spirit guides? Some of
So so you know that with spirit and stuff they'll set it in the frame of reference for the medium that they're speaking through.
them.
So
Okay.
for me with Erik and we've talked about this before like in readings and stuff. A lot of times souls that you're connected to in family as family members when they cross over, like if you're calling on them or praying to them or asking for their help, yeah, they're kind of more like spirit guides for you
Okay.
if they're willing to help and able to help you.
Yeah.
It's more like a spirit guide situation. Erik has said this before. People use spirit guide. They use guardian angel oftentimes when they mean spirit guide.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They're he says they're not actually the same thing.
Yeah. Because
They are
guardian angels, they're with you from birth on, right?
yeah, yes, and they're angels, they're angelic.
Yeah.
When your loved ones pass over, if they're helping you, they're fall more into the category of spirit guides.
Can you be an archangel and a guardian angel to some, Erik? I mean, as archangel, can you also be a guardian angel for
Yes,
everybody?
yes.
When we go back to heaven, are we allowed to just stay for eternity? Oh, that sounds good. Or are we
Yes.
forced to reincarnate at some point?
No, we're not forced. Just like we have free will here, we've got free will over there. There are some souls who do their work from the other side, having maybe only incarnated a few times, once or twice, and decided
Yeah.
that's not for them. And no, we are not
Yeah.
forced to. What it
Yeah.
is, he says more often than not, is that we get back over there, remember, like, oh, right, this is my eternal life. And sure, I can do 90 more years down there. So there,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah, I'll go back.
All right. Uh, can we trust extraterrestrials? specifically Bashar, the alien? Didn't you know he was an alien? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Right after someone passes from an accident at home, what do they experience? This person must have a very personal reason for asking.
So Erik is saying that a lot of the time when somebody passes, what they experience after the actual death is part of what they've already set up before they came into the lifetime. It's not the same for everybody.
Okay.
It's not the same. So if this particular person is asking because they have a personal connection here, they're better off to get a reading and ask about what that person's, their loved one's passing was like.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you die of an accident at home or a sudden death, you stay around for a few days, and there can be some confusion, or you just decide to stay around, or sometimes you, boom, it's like a lights out sort of thing where you go into like that pod to be sort of
So
nurtured and cared for. So there's sometimes immediately there's not an awareness until a little bit of an adjustment period. It's why sometimes people will get readings and it's like, I can't find your loved one. They're not coming forward if it's a week or 2 or 3 after.
No, right.
Because they haven't, their awareness is not awake, so to speak, yet on the other side.
Coming in, so I'm going to pause you, but let me ask this question first. Is reincarnation something to avoid?
I don't know if I'm supposed to be answering. I can't hear you. Am I supposed to be answering? Just nod my head, just nod your head. Okay. Sorry. No, reincarnation is not something that should be avoided.
Okay.
Sorry, I got confused.
No, I know. Maria, it just happens to always come at the time I have sessions.
Yes.
What does a soul feel when they pass and it's the same day or same week of their passing and they see all their family grieving?
So when we see our family grieving, when we've died, depending on the circumstances, like if there's, even like with suicide, sometimes suicides are in the contract and everybody who's involved in the situation on a soul level knows that that's what's going to happen. And so there is this feeling of like love and, watching over and trying to help, but there's also the understanding that it's what the souls are supposed to be experiencing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Erik says it's nice to think like, our loved ones on the other side don't want us to ever experience any pain or sadness or anything like that. But for our soul's growth, we need those things, unfortunately.
How does the soul feel or experience their own funeral?
So oftentimes the soul will be in attendance at their own funeral, whether they are observing. He said sometimes people who are experiencing their own funerals are having a great time. They're going around, trying to get people's attention, celebrating because they're back home. And sometimes they're just there comforting. But it does feel more like what Erik is showing me of more of being there for their loved ones.
Yeah. Okay. There are conflicting things about people going to hell from listening to y'all that there isn't one. Others say they've been there. Can you explain, Erik? This is hell. They're in hell right now.
Yeah. So and there is stuff that happens when people have a near-death experience. Right. A near death.
Right.
So for people who say that they've died and seen hell, there's other stuff involved there. Whether there's like a wake-up call, they need to change their lives, they have stuff that they need to face and work on. It's not actually hell. There is evil. There is evil. There is negativity. There is low vibration souls. There is evil that exists on Earth. Right. But your soul going to eternal damnation,
fire and brimstone, no.
Correct.
Well, no. I think what Erik also said was that it depends on your belief. If you were raised in a religion that yes, there is a hell and this is what it's like, then whether it's an NDE or not, they could still at first experience that,
Yes.
right?
Yes, just like souls that die and don't cross over and are trapped here on earth.
Yeah.
But eventually those souls end up on the other side. It could be hundreds of years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Especially for like the ghosts and stuff that get trapped on earth. I mean that
Yeah.
can be hundreds of years that they're stuck here.
But that's their own doing, right? Nobody's
Yes.
going to be trapped.
Yes.
Okay. Eric, what is your take on the subject of purgatory? Older generations of my culture believe that the departed souls stayed in a place called purgatory for 40 days after death before going to heaven. Hence, the living family has to pray for their souls during the 40-day period.
This is a human construct, that especially that 40 days. This is, there is no absolute as far as timeline goes. What he's saying is purgatory is more like getting stuck here.
Oh, like earthbound spirit kind of thing?
Yeah, that's more of like the purgatory. However, he said there is something like when you get to the other side where especially if he says this happens a lot if there's a fear around being dead,
Yeah.
that you're kind of in this space where you do have awareness, but there's not like, it's blackness.
Oh,
So sometimes people will have a near death experience and they'll say all I saw was blackness.
yeah.
It's that they're so afraid of death that
Mm.
even though they've left the body, they are too afraid to see what's next.
Wow.
He says so there
Somebody
is.
change the light bulb up in here.
Yes.
All right, I'm
Yes.
going to ask one more question, and then I'm going to stop the recording, and we're going to create a new, because we're going to shorten the
Okay.
videos a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Do you experience any pain or discomfort in the afterlife?
No.
Good. All right, let me see. I'll just do one more. Do you, as a spiritual being, get told when a loved one on earth is about to die?
So he says you don't really have to be told. It's just like there would be, you just kind of know. You would just kind of know if a loved one was getting ready to come home, he said.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's stop and start again.